Merry Christmas and welcome back to my Water Rails world. This is a bit of a bonus episode and probably the last one in this series as well. I'm just going to zoom out to my map. Right, this is what I've uncovered so far. I went on a bit of a joyride with my tank and I loaded up my tank with loads of artillery shells and I carried around a couple of artillery turrets with me. Ran around the map and basically explored all the bits I could get to easily, dragging out electric poles behind me, placing down radars. I found that various bits that I was exploring dead-ended, so this ends over here. There's a tiny patch of copper, a 3 million patch of copper here. There's a 6.6 million patch of iron ore over here, but it means landfilling in a bridge. I was also using the artillery shells to uncover bits of map. So I had an artillery set up here where this radar is. I was then firing off in various directions to uncover bits of map to see what was there. You can see I've done a bit of that over here as well, just to try and get a feel for what's going on. And you can see this is just empty. There are no resources here except some small patches of oil. There's literally nothing. There's patches of uranium and some biters. That's what, 847k of copper. Right. So I think on this entire map, other than the 9.9 patch of iron I originally tapped, there's about what was this one again? Yeah, there's about another 8 million of iron and about the same again of copper. And so there is just no possibility that this map is going to get me to megabase scale without just doing hours and hours and hours of prospecting. I'd have to head south with trains full of landfill and just landfill and rails forever. Even then, I doubt I would be in a situation like my previous map where I found large patches, because the large patches would be cut up by water. So basically I'm giving up on this map as something to build big, and I have decided to just launch a rocket and be done with it. So I've got some achievements done. There was some mass production things which got triggered this game. I might have a go at Tech Maniac just to research all technologies. Obviously I'm going to smoke me a kipper, and I was tempted to do So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. To that end I have mined 5 fish from the water. As I understand it, you get that by launching a fish into space instead of a satellite, so I'm going to give that a go. I really don't care about speed or ratios or anything, I just want to get a rocket launched. So I've thrown down some fabs here. This is making a rocket silo, and it's made one now. This is making satellites. I've told it to make 4. We're really low on blue circuit, so that's what's slowing all this down. This is making low density. I'm not quite sure what's holding that up. So it takes 30 seconds to make one. That's probably what the problem is. Oh, the low density is almost certainly then being picked up and used to make something else, like a satellite. We have our rocket control units, which are capped by the blue circuits. Fuel, that's busy running, and I think whenever it makes some fuel, the fuel is picked up and put somewhere else. And accumulators similarly, I think that's being picked up and put somewhere else. Yeah, most of this stuff is going into the satellite right now. So this is the rocket silo, and it's made one. So let's place that down here. And as I say, I really am not caring at this point about anything. So I'm not even going to load it up with efficiency modules, because I haven't managed to make any of those really yet. Let's have some ins. Okay, so make these requester chests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to turn one of these around, make it into a provider. And this is where the research packs are going to be produced. Okay, so this wants rocket control units, low density structure, and rocket fuel. So I'm just going to set these all going. For the sake of making sure none of these inserters get backed up and we don't accidentally end up unable to load, this one's going to do only controllers. This one is going to do only low density. This one's going to do only fuel. And then this can do all of them. Yeah, that'll be fine. So the other thing I'm going to do, I think, is since I'm only ever going to launch a handful of rockets, I don't need a second rocket silo. So let's kill that inserter. Right, this is totally filled up on steel, and I'm just going to let my logistics bots get on with... it's probably easier to kill this with a deconstruction. There we are. Wow, look at that. You can see in the meantime it's been building up quite an army of logistics bots. Oh, so I've got 300 of them, they're all busy. There we are. How are we doing for the satellite? It's the blue circuit. So if I want this to happen before Christmas is over, I'm going to have to beef up blue circuit production. The blue circuit production at the moment is it's fine for reds, it's fine for copper, and it is fine for iron. So I think I can just double this up and should get twice the rate of blue circuits. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then make a part 2 with some rocket launches. So back in a minute. And here we are. I've managed to get a rocket built. Let's just get research going again. Okay, so I'm going to manually load in a fish. There we are. And will it launch? And here it goes. That is a beautiful thing. So that's the so long and thanks for all the fish. And I got a warning saying there was no satellite. This is now going to take a while to run up again. So between last recording and this recording, I have added a lot more drone making area things for all the things that go into a satellite launch. I'll just keep adding them until they aren't running flat out, and at that point there's a resource bottleneck somewhere and I go off and find out what it is. So the last few bottlenecks were the blue and green circuits. That was fixed by me putting down tier 3 machines for blue and red. Green circuits. So this is something interesting. Because I'm using local manufacture for the green circuits that go into both the red and the blues, if you look at this, the green circuit line here is backing up. And how many hundreds of green circuit machines am I making? Do I have? I hear you ask. I have 4. So you can run an entire factory, all the research, off 4 green circuit makers. If you're not then consuming all those green circuits, making your reds and blues. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see, isn't it? It might be different if I was making lots of tier 3 modules, but to get the factory running, you actually only need this very minimal green circuit setup. So that was a bit of a thing to learn today. The issue we're having now is there's just not enough iron coming into the factory. The way I'm going to fix this is by putting in a second iron station, because let's get off the track because I don't want to win the achievement for dying. So there's an iron train here queued up, right? And there's always at least one queued up. So I'm going to put in a second iron station, then instead of being queued up it'll be emptying, and I'm going to push it through another couple of smelters. Probably, yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do 1 or 2 extra smelters, but I've got the space for them here. And that then will be extra lines that I will force feed in to the 4 lines on the bus here further down. So for future reference, I think I may design my next bus of this type, where I'm doing the rocket launching and everything else all on the one site, with 6 lanes of iron. 4 of copper seems about right. And then everything else is pretty balanced. So the bottleneck at the moment for making the blue circuits and for making the red circuits is that they're not getting enough iron to make the greens. So that's what I need to fix. So I need to put in an extra 2 lines of iron, and that would probably allow this to back up, and I think then we'd be fine. Right, so scoot down. I've put on my ultimate Iron Man suit. That built itself quietly in the background. Right, over here, so where are we at? Just 5%. So I'm going to go offline again and come back when it's time to launch satellites. So while I'm waiting for the rocket to launch, I thought I would acquire an achievement. I've loaded up my suit with a bunch of shields, so we are going to play chicken with a train. Let's just save the game first in case it all goes horribly wrong. So there is an achievement for Golem, which is you get hit by something really big and don't die, and there's another achievement which is you die by train. So one way or another I am going to get an achievement. Okay, I ran out chicken there, so I obviously did not get enough of a hit. Let's see if I can do it a bit better this time. I'm so used to running away from danger, it's kind of hard to let myself get damaged. Yay! So I got the Golem achievement. Okay, so I think what I have left to do is launch that rocket. So in the meantime, I'm going to get the achievement for dying. So let's put everything in a box, because it would be sad if I right, put everything in the box and undo all these logistics requests, otherwise I will get filled up again, which would be annoying. So I'll need another box. And grief, I'm carrying a lot of stuff. Another box. That one. I know I could die and pick everything up from the corpse, but let's do it this way because I'm now going to take off my armor. Put that in as well. Okay, and then let's stand here. Come on, train. I think this is the first time I've ever tried to die. Yay! So I died. And I'll respawn. Ooh, somewhere in a smelting array. That's exciting. Here I am in my noob outfit. So I did put in another iron smelter. That really helped because I did two things. I used the extra train station to backfill these 4 lines. So the 4 lines now are much better compressed. And then the excess I ran through another smelter column. Thinking of it, I should probably put a splitter in there just to... Here we are. Oh, I don't have anything because I'm in my birthday suit. So let's see if I can find that box that had everything in. Okay, so put on my proper God mode armor and I can pick everything up. There we are. So I think I'm going to add a splitter here just to help. Come back there. Okay, so that should just push a bit more ore through the smelter. It's certainly not, well, we're backed up, right? So I think there's more capacity, so I could run a second line if I wanted to. So I may run a, yeah, I think I'm going to run a second line here. Anyway, I'll do that while I'm offline. We are still waiting for the second satellite to launch. And we are ready to go. So let's load in the satellite, which I should have around here somewhere. There it is. Into the rocket and launch. And off we go. Wonderful. 31 hours, of which we probably could have trimmed 10 off easily by just not being stupid. But there we are. Brilliant. Let's save this game. And I don't think there are any other achievements which I can realistically do right now. So there's Tech Maniac, which is just do all the research, which I'll do in the background when nobody's around. And the other ones I can't really do because I'm either out of time or some of these you can't do on peaceful mode. This is a Rails world, so there's no expansion. So that's it really. So thank you very much for watching. This is the end of Water Rails. I will probably not be doing a map like this again because there just are no resources. But anyway, this was kind of a fun way to ease into version 0.16. Thank you very much for watching with me. It's been cool, and I will see you in the new year. Merry Christmas.